So that boy Chris Brown done had enough with y'all playing with his name out here. Chris Brown files a lawsuit against producers of the investigation Discovery's domestic violence documentary on him. He is seeking $500 million in damages, almost $500 million in damages for talking grimy against the boy. So Chris Brown took to his Instagram page and posted a very important message. He says, read. And basically, it seems like a letter from his lawyers that's basically suing Ample LLC and Warner Brothers in response to the defamation documentary that they put out on him. So I'm going to try to read this real fast, but this basically says Chris Brown's attorney, Levi G. McCatherine, are representing singer and songwriter and rapper Chris Brown in a $500 million lawsuit filed on January 21st, 2025 in the Superior Court of Los Angeles against Ample LLC and Warner Brothers, and whoever's responsible for producing the Chris Brown: A History of Violence documentary. Despite being notified of the false and misleading narratives accusing Mr. Brown of heinous acts, including sexual assaults and evidence tampering, allegations that have been discredited in court and dismissed as baseless, the defendants released the documentary on October 27, 2024, without regard for Mr. Brown prioritizing profits over journalistic integrity. In doing so, they sensationalized debunked claims to drive viewership and revenue, recklessly damaging Mr. Brown's reputation and spreading false information to the public. To be clear, Mr. Brown has never been found at fault for any type of sexual crime. Central to the documentary's narrative is Daisy Frank, identified as Jane Doe in the film. Her false allegations against Mr. Brown were thoroughly discredited in court years ago. Frank is a documented perpetrator of domestic violence with a history that includes physical assault and threats of violence against her romantic partner. Specific to Mr. Brown, it is evident that any interactions and relationship between him and Ms. Frank were consensual. This is supported by numerous text and voice messages sent by Mrs. Frank to Mr. Brown in which she actively pursued a relationship with him. It is perplexing that these production companies would elevate her discredited claims over the truth established in the court of law. Despite being fully aware of these facts prior to the documentary's release, Warner Brothers chose to amplify her defamatory lies, an outrageous act that not only undermines journalistic integrity, but also disrespects the experiences of genuine survivors of intimate partner violence. This case is about protecting the truth, said Mr. Brown's attorney. Despite being provided with evidence disproving their claims, the producers of this documentary intentionally promote false and defamatory information, knowingly disregarding their ethical obligations as journalists. Their actions undermine not only Mr. Brown's decade-long efforts to rebuild his life, but also the credibility of true survivors of violence. Through this legal action, Mr. Brown seeks accountability and aims to stand against the exploitation of misinformation for personal gain. Additionally, a portion of the $500 million will be donated to survivors of sexual abuse. His 2017 documentary, Chris Brown: Welcome to My Life, remains the definitive account of his experiences and growth. Man, that boy ain't playing. He basically is saying, like, nah, y'all not gonna just drag me through the mud with all these false allegations from some lady named Daisy Frank, who was identified as Jane Doe in the film. He said in court, those text messages and voice messages proved that he did not do anything violent and that he did not do anything against her will, and everything was consensual. I definitely want to see what this Daisy Frank look like, because she better be bad, because I know Chris Breezy did not just hit a little 304 yamp and then now he got to deal with this. And for those who aren't aware of the documentary, I'm going to show you a brief trailer of it right here.
I'm sure girls want to know a couple of questions and things. For the young ladies, I mean, what's up, man? You got a girl or what? Nah, I'm keeping my options open, so y'all be checking for me, you know what I'm saying? Chris Brown is the man. Get used to that right there. Chris Brown's an amazing and talented musician, but let's call a thing a thing. He's a abuser of women, consistently, unapologetically. Okay, Chris, put down that girl. When is your hearing for your restraining order? I'm sorry, girls. A couple of questions. Order. There's a long list of various different women. So you're pretty upset. Are you sure you don't really call victims advocate that come talk to you? Who's accused Chris Brown of assaulting them. Sir, Chris Brown has been detained in an alleged case of rape. He has an audience full of assault deniers. No, I have not spoken about this matter publicly, but that's the only way that he can be stopped.
Bro, cap. Now, I'm not saying that women don't go through sexual abuse and violence and all that, but Chris Brown, come on, man. Like, man, Chris Brown can have any woman he want, and you think he even thinks about doing anything against a woman's will? So it's just crazy how everybody is just believing this stuff, and look what some of these women are saying.
Okay, listen. Apparently, the people behind the docuseries Quiet on Set about Dan Schneider are gearing up to release a documentary on none other than Chris Brown. And apparently that includes a new accuser coming forward with new allegations against him. Now, we know Chris Brown got into that big altercation with Rihanna back in 2009, but since then, there have been many, many allegations against him. That includes not only assault allegations, but SA allegations and lawsuits. And we already know what went down with Karrueche, where what he put her through was so bad, she had to get a 5-year restraining order against him. And that included everything from threatening her life to pushing her down the stairs. And baby, that's just what we heard on the news. We don't even know half the stuff that happened behind closed doors. If new accusers come forward and Karrueche comes forward and tells her whole truth, I fear Chris Brown will not come back from this. Now, I have several breakdown videos on not only Chris Brown's allegations throughout the years, but a full timeline and breakdown on his relationship with Rihanna and Karrueche.
Okay, I don't really know if I believe all that. I mean, it gets so finicky when it comes to domestic violence and men and women. Like, because to be honest with you, women put their hands on men all the time in a lot of cases, and if a man pushes her back, like, "Oh, you're hitting me," she's like, "Oh, you hit me." Da, da, da. I've seen that happen many times. Now, I'm not saying that was the case, but I'm saying there's a lot of times where women physically abuse men. And when a man had enough of getting hit and pushes her off and she hits the wall or something, "Oh, you hit me. Oh my gosh." I've seen that way too many times. So I'm not saying that was what happened or what the case is, but we just don't know what everybody from the outside looking in. I need to hear from Karrueche's mouth. I need to hear from court documents of Karrueche, but Karrueche has never said anything out of her mouth like, "Oh yeah, this happened." Woo, woo, woo. Like, I keep hearing through the grapevine. So some people just don't are like taking it like this.
Attention, all Team Breezy. As y'all know, there is a documentary coming out about all of Chris Brown's history of domestic violence or whatever. And I feel like if you are a true Chris Brown fan or a Chris Brown supporter, you should not even tune into the documentary. Like, don't even watch it. Let's not give it our energy. Let's not give them our views, because we all know what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring him down. They're trying to continue this narrative of him that they've been going for years, because he's very successful, doing so amazing, and they don't have any other way to try to bring him down but to continue to bring up his past. So as Team Breezy, we should not watch it. You know what I mean? Like, do not.
Yeah, so there's some women who are like, "Oh man, I don't care about none of that stuff. He changed, and he did admit to catching the head up with Rihanna in the car, but he also said that she was swinging on him the whole time, and then he just couldn't take it no more, and he just defended himself and hit her back. Because if you're driving in a Lamborghini, in a small car that it is, and some woman start, hitting you and stuff, you gon' I mean, like, you just gotta. I don't know what you do in that situation. That hasn't happened to me before, so don't give me bright ideas and say, "Oh, he's committing that." No, I'm just saying, like, I just doubt that Chris Brown did anything like that, because, man, if anybody knows Chris Brown and how he treats his fans, like he's like one of the nicest person when it comes to his fans. So, when you have all the money, all the fame, all the success, only thing that's left to do sometimes is just to be a great person. And I think he's gone through all the trials and tribulations in his life, and all he's trying to do is be a great person. Look at this interaction that he has right here with a fan.
Can I get a picture with you, please?
Nah, we ain't gonna pictures, but God bless you.
Oh, God bless you. We love you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you. Thank you. Bye. Can I get a picture with you, please?
Nah, we ain't gonna pictures, but God bless you.
We're not doing pictures, but God bless you, man. I'm just being cool. Look at this other interaction with this fan.
Hey, how you doing? What's up? Oh, Caitlin Breezy. You hold on. You Caitlin Breezy? Oh, that's tight. I was fucking with her. She be lit. I ain't gonna lie. How you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, and even though he's going through everything he's going, there's some women that still don't care. Look, what in the AI is going on? She AI'd his picture and made her kiss him. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So Chris Brown, and then y'all don't even know. Okay, so if Chris Brown was really on that type of violence, act of violence, all that craziness, y'all remember when he was at Diddy's house? Look, when he was at Diddy's house, he didn't. It was weird because he was like, "Man, I'm cool off that." Look.
Oh, T, what we doing? Goddamn. My outfit look like goddamn. You don't know another nigga that's fit like this. Or change color when I lift my lights, take a bitch on the date, put her ass like she got a boyfriend, like bye, nigga. I'm like, cool, I'm trying to be inside.
Yeah, the diddler. It looked like Chris Brown was very uncomfortable being around Diddy. Diddy brought him on the bed, and he like, "Yeah, let's jump on the bed together." Yeah, my boy. And Chris Brown like, bro, like, Diddy grabbed him by his collar and was like, "Come here." And Chris was like, "Oh my gosh, man, I gotta get up out of here." And look, Diddy off the Diddy juice. I know he got baby oil in that bottle. Look, he's steadily trying to come over to Chris Brown, and Chris Brown like, "Bro, like, I'm cool off all that." Like, so if Chris Brown was a freakazoid and all that domestic, wouldn't he be comfortable being around Diddy? Exactly. So, like, even this. Okay, now that one right there don't really help. He looked like he got a secret handshake, man. I don't know, man. Some people saying I knew it. CB is a fruit. Chill. Nah, man, that's nuts. But yeah, that didn't age very good. So let us know what y'all think. Y'all think Chris Brown did it? Or you think that he's right for filing a $500 million defamation lawsuit? Let me know.